All right, hello, welcome to this weather update. We're going to get started a little early tonight. It's 8:30, July 14th, and we're going to talk about this really impressive thunderstorm that developed over central Suffolk. And I guess this was due to a sea breeze front or something. Maybe just also this front just laying in the vicinity here. Because if we look at the weather map here, you will see, let's go to that weather map here. You will see we have a stall front just offshore here, all right? So this could be acting, but I don't think that was the mechanism for the storm. I think it was just a sea breeze front that set it off. So if we go and we look at this is 6 o'clock here. This cell just popped up probably right over Deer Park, it looks like. All right, and then as we follow it along, here we are at 6:30. This is when they issued a severe thunderstorm warning, and there was actually white and purple in this, not showing up in this radar here, but this cell right here wound up hitting pretty hard. From Ronkonkoma, parts of Hauppauge, into Selden. And there was some hail and some pretty gusty winds with this. And you can see it just kind of dissipated. But that's what I'm thinking what wound up happening. Was it just popped along this sea breeze front. And we have video of it for you right here. Joe Chaffee actually shared this with us. Just to give you a brief clip of what was going on here. Hail going on there. Some gusty winds too. There's a rainbow, but there's also a shelf cloud here too as well that you see there. That's by Selden there. Power outages. There are power outages from this storm. Right now we have about 1,500 people without power, almost 1,500 people. And it's mostly in the areas that I showed you. So some in central Islip, and then as we head into Ronkonkoma, this area was hard hit. A lot of larger outages over here. Lake Ronkonkoma area. Heading northward, you can see a whole bunch of outages here as we head into, I guess this is still Ronkonkoma over here, Lake Ronkonkoma area, Ronkonkoma, into Centereach, southern part of Centereach. There's also now a big outage over here off Nichols Road here in Centereach, and then another outage over here. So this was a pretty intense storm that wound up hitting. And we're going to have to see if there's actually some storm reports we can get from the Weather Service on this. But this was a pretty strong thunderstorm here. And, it's just one of those things that just popped up and caused some damage. And there was some hail with it. So let me go to the National Weather Service's webpage right now. We're going to do that right now. And we're going to go and look at and see if there are any storm reports for this storm at all. They just have the warnings posted up here on the thing, but I want to see if there are any storm reports that have been put out yet. So let's go to the local storm report. Let's see what we got here. All right, so this is today. Thunderstorm wind damage, 6:38 p.m. Farmingville. Tree down on power lines near Portion Road and College Road in Farmingville. I know that area extremely well. It's right by the college there. So Portion Road and College Road in Farmingdale. And that caused a pretty big power outages. A tree down at 7-Eleven on the corner of Mester Road and Smithtown Boulevard. Tree down on Clunan Drive in Coram. Tree down on a house and Smith Street in Lake Ronkonkoma. By the way, you can take a guess. Channel 12 is not covering this either. That's in the middle of the island. They don't care. Wires down and in flames on Middle Country Road and South Coleman Road in Centereach. So Middle Country Road and South Coleman Road. That's like where we saw some of those big outages right there. So this is pretty bad. Hail, 1.25-inch hail in Selden. Picture of large trees down on road. Power was lost. This is somewhere in 1 mile west-southwest of Selden. Picture of quarter-sized hail. So these are some of the storm reports that we're getting here. But, of course, if we go to News 12, there's absolutely nothing on it at all whatsoever. If we go to their website right now, you'll see. Oh, finally they have it up here. So surprise summer storm. Let's see. Finally have it. Let's see. But not even a video is up here. No video reported. They don't even have a reporter on the scene of this because it's the middle of the island. They don't care. And I know exactly where that is. That is where the 6A makes the left as well as the 58 going east. So that road is blocked off there. That's going to cause some reroutes for the buses. I don't know how they're going to reroute around that. But this is hail from the severe thunderstorm in Selden. You can see that. Looks like that's like Trying to think of comparison size there. It's a marble-sized hail almost. That's pretty sizable right there. Severe storm takes down a tree in Centereach. So they have something on the website. But again, not really a whole lot here, considering this is a major story. They should really have a reporter on the scene. They better have one at 10 o'clock. But, let's talk about the sharks instead. This is the middle of the island. Forgotten. We're not going to go down there and get a video. Sorry. But there, at least they have some pictures of it for you. So it's pretty impressive, to say the least. I know exactly where that is, and there's some pretty strong winds that had to do that, to knock down that big oak tree right there. So wow, that is quite a storm, for sure. And we're going to actually go to the weather, and we're actually going to go to the Wonderground site and see if we can. Well, we go to the weather and hazards map, and let's see if we can get some observations. All right, here's one at Farmingville. So this is around where the storm hit. Let's see if they have any strong wind gusts here reported here. Looks like they got a half an inch from the storm as far as rain goes. Let's see if we can see any wind gusts over here. I don't see any major wind gusts here reported on this site, but we're going to look and see if we can find some other sites that have. This is going to be a long weather update. So with this severe weather, we have a lot to cover. And I want to actually go. Let's go to the. Let me go to the Venture Sky again. So again, this was the storm right here. It just popped up right here, and you can see there was actually a pretty strong one over the South Shore too. They wound up developing. That wasn't severe at all. It was just rain. But this was a severe thunderstorm over here that developed and hit this area here. So really impressive storm to see for sure. And again, looking at it, you could see this is what it looked like on the radar. You almost see a little bit of a hook echo there. I'm wondering. There it is. There's what I'm talking about. There's the white. That's the hail right there. That's the hail that was falling. So it's not common to see hail like that on Long Island too much. But at least somebody got a thunderstorm. But here in Nassau, we didn't really have that much to see. I did see the storm looking off to the east. This is the storm right here. I think this is the storm right here. Huge cumulonimbus cloud off to the east. This was around 6:37. So, that's a huge cumulonimbus cloud right there. And, again, just some clouds. This is just some billowing clouds here. But we really didn't see. We had a couple of drops of rain, and that was it. We didn't really have anything going on. So let's go to look at the highs. We're going to look at the kind of day we had today, because today turned out a lot hotter than I expected, especially here in Nassau County. So we're going to start with Farmingdale, 77 with a dew point of 70. And so 77 with a dew point of 70. And we're going to, 77 with a dew point of 70. And you can see very, very humid today. Extremely humid. Very, very humid today. And you can see the humidity was really high this evening. And it came back up again after trying to go down earlier. Look at the dew points earlier on. Look at the dew points going down here. So you can see the dew points here, low 60s. Low 60s. So you can see the dew points here, low 60s, but look at how hot it was. That's because we had no sea breeze at all. So no sea breeze, and it was very, very warm. It was pretty brutal today. It was warmer than I expected. It had a lot of haze, bad air quality. That's why it's that gray over us. Very bad air quality. And again, you can see here that the temperatures were pretty warm here throughout. And then look at how it happened. So right around 4:35, there was a weak sea breeze that wound up dropping the temperature in Farmingdale from 90 down to the low 80s. We never got that here in. This might have actually been some of the effects from that thunderstorm, perhaps. Even though it looks like they did get a little bit of. Yeah, they had some thunder around 5:55. That thunderstorm went right by to the south, and you can see again those. They got a little bit of rain there, and then after that, you can see temperatures kind of moderated. But look at the dew points around 70, so it got very, very humid again as a result of that. It's very, very humid. Now, depending on where you were, of course, it was different. So we're going to go look at Islip next, 73 with a dew point of 70 as well. They were a little closer to the storm, but I think it just went to the north of them. So let's see what Islip was like today. And again, not as bad there. It looked like they were dealing with mid-80s. But not quite as dry either. The dew points were in the mid-60s. And see, they had no sea breeze, but they had all these clouds around, and then those storms popping up later. So, and then the temperature soared to 88 in the afternoon again, with the dew points in the mid-60s. So, yeah, they did wind up getting up to 90, but a little later on, more toward 4 o'clock. And then the sea breeze came in and dropped the temperatures down to the low 80s, but then the dew point shot up to 70. And then that thunderstorm went by to the south, and it looks like they got to the north, and they got 0.112 inches of rain out of that storm. All right. So we're going to actually display a couple of things on here. First, I'm going to display the high temperatures. We'll get that over with first. And you can see the gray. That's the air quality alert. All right. So we have an air quality alert in effect. And you can see upper 80s to around 90. And you can see around 90 there. So upper 80s to around 90, pretty warmer than I expected today. It actually felt a lot worse than yesterday because the sea breeze was really very weak and almost non-existent. Very weak sea breeze today. And you can see pretty much everywhere upper 80s to around 90. Let's see how New Jersey was. Of course, a little bit hotter there. If we get this to load there, a little bit hotter. But then look, if you go toward the shore, it actually cooled off. So it looks like they actually wound up getting a bit of a sea breeze in New Jersey. Maybe a little better than we did, just along the shore areas east of the Parkway. Other than that, everybody was in the low 90s there. So let's go to the precipitation, because this is where it's going to show where this storm hit. And, of course, I'm going to also go to the Wonderground site as well and get this weather update for you. So get some more weather information for you. Sorry. 0.87 for rainfall here. So almost an inch here. This is off Mooney Pond Road, and it just disappeared here. 0.87. So you can see some of these rainfall reports here. Just in this small area here is where they got hit really hard. So you could see it was a very small area. In fact, if you were by the mall, I don't think they even got anything by the mall. So it was just in this really small but intense cell in this area here that developed along this sea breeze front. Really interesting. I got to say, this stuff really interests me a lot. So let's go to the Wonderground site now. Try that. And we're going to look at, see, again, what things were like depending on where you were across the island. So we're going to first put precipitation up here so we can take a look and see where the rainfall occurred from this storm. And you can clearly see they got about 1/4 of an inch down in the Deer Park area, around 1/4 of an inch. But then as you headed northeastward, this when the storm got more stronger, you can see Lake Ronkonkoma 0.67, 0.76, 0.75 being reported here. That's not too far from where that tree was down, right around here that you saw that picture of, College Road, and portion. And then the heavier rainfall amounts went further north. So again, almost an inch of rain there in parts of Selden. And I say parts of Selden, all right, because if you were a little more to the north, a little more toward Terryville, you got almost nothing. But in Selden, they got anywhere from 1/2 inch to an inch of rain out of this, all right? And then following this northeastward, you could see a 0.74 in the north part of Coram, whereas the south part barely got anything. And then it kind of fizzled once it got to the Pine Barrens, I think. Let's see, we have 0.44 still in Rocky Point. But after that, yeah, it fizzled by the time it got to Rocky Point. So it fell apart pretty quick. It was a short but pretty intense storm that popped up. Very, very interesting. I have extreme interest in this. Oh, look, we even have a 1.16 inch rainfall reading in Ronkonkoma. So, yeah, so this area really got the brunt of it. Now, we don't have the peak wind gusts, but what I will do is we'll go and we'll see. This doesn't give me the ability to display the peak wind gusts, but what we can do is go in here and see if we can find maybe some peak wind gust information here about this. So let's see if the wind gusts, right, they're reporting a peak wind gust of 24, and look at that. That's when the storm hit. They were in the low 90s there, and then boom, the storm hit, and look at how quick that temperature dropped. I mean, through the roof, and you could see the wind pick up when that thing hit too. So really impressive to see that. That is really, really impressive. I gotta say, that's this is the kind of weather that really interests me. So, and we can get some more observations, and I'm gonna go where the heavier precipitations were, because that's where the stronger winds were reported. So let's see. Got another one over here, 0.67. So let's see. Let's see what their peak wind was with this. Peak wind gusts. Let's see what they got up to only 11.4. But again, look at that temperature come crashing down when that storm hit. That's incredible. That's really incredible. All right, we're going to go over here, Farmingville. Let's see if we can get some wind readings. That's what I'm trying to do, is just get some peak wind gusts here. It's not really showing it, but I'm sure. Look at that. The temperature went like 20-degree temperature drop. That's nuts. You know when a storm is hail, you know it's got some cold air aloft to work with. Another one here, Selden, 0.94. So let's go take a look at this. And you can see, again, look at that temperature drop off the cliff. Look at this. Here you go. 50-mile-an-hour wind gust reported at Selden. There you go, 50 miles an hour. So this is classic. Now, this is a good example of it right here. You can see the bump in the wind right when the temperature dropped. That was the thunderstorm right there. That is impressive right there. That is really, really impressive. So, yeah, there you go. Really crazy storm, depending on where you were. It was very localized. Very, very localized. And you look at the weather here in Mineola, which we'll go to next. You'll see it probably wasn't as exciting. But we did have our ups and downs. Now, we had that dry air around in the afternoon. Although it was hot, the humidity wasn't as bad. And then the humidity got really bad again. So we're going to show you what happened here. And we're just going to look at the dew points here. And you'll see what I mean with the temperatures. I don't think it got up quite up to 94. But you can see, look at what wound up happening. So we had dew points generally in the mid-60s all day. But then right around 6:30, and I felt it. I was walking. When I felt it, I was walking back. I stayed in my area today, and I was walking. And there were a couple of drops of rain, and then I felt the humidity. It was warm, but it wasn't that humid. And then all of a sudden, the humidity just peaked, and it just literally just like the wind just shifted, and that was the sea breeze front, and the dew points actually went up to around 70. It was actually worse behind the front because the sea breeze was so weak that it really didn't bring that much temperature relief, but it sure made that humidity higher, and it made it a lot worse to deal with. So now that we've gone over all the current weather, let's talk about what's going to be coming up here. So right now, nothing much on the radar. It's a little quiet right now. Looking at our satellite, again, you can see this stalled front that's offshore right now. And the question is, how much are we going to be able to push that front off tomorrow? That is the question. Now, of course, it's a little earlier, so we're going to have to... we don't have the HRRR to work with. The zero's the HRRR. But let's go and look at the GFS forecast as we head into the weekend here. So you see this high pressure. It's going to try to build down. But you can see you also have that pesky Atlantic ridge. So in between is this front. Now, we should be at least not dealing with any chances of precipitation for tomorrow or Saturday. But then as we head into Sunday, it looks like we have some chances for precipitation here. And you can see that ridge there in effect, and that Atlantic ridge there. And you can see as we get into the next week, you can see there isn't really any really good pushes of cool air coming in. However, we do see toward the end of the period, there's a little more of an Atlantic ridge, which means more heat in the future. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the long range of this. We're just going to cover pretty much tomorrow through the weekend. So let's go to the map right now, and I know we will not have enough of the HRRR in. We don't even have any of it in. So we're going to have to use the GFS. And like I said, I don't think we're going to see any precipitation tomorrow. So, the higher resolution, we shouldn't need that. But let's go ahead and look at the dew points, because eventually this humid air will get pushed back again. And we'll have drier air come into the picture by after sunrise tomorrow. North to northeast winds becoming east. And we should have lower dew points. Pushes the front far enough to the south. I think that's what's going to happen. And we should have a comfortable day tomorrow with the lower dew points, because the humidity tonight is horrible. But you'll see what winds up happening. Once again, the winds go back to the south, and we start seeing more humidity again as you get into Saturday, and especially Sunday. But the south wind will mean there'll be a sea breeze, but it doesn't look like a terribly strong one. So now we go and we look at the temperatures on here. And you'll see as we get into tomorrow, you'll see temperatures will get into probably the 80s again. Yeah, well into the 80s. So we're still going to be doing mid-80s probably for highs. Maybe some upper 80s and around 90 in Jersey. But hopefully it'll be cool, a little cooler. But with the northeast wind, that is a cooler wind direction, so you would think it would be. Um, there should be plenty of sun, but we'll go and look at the clouds at night. It's probably not going to cool off that much, and there will be a sea breeze in the afternoon, though probably not that strong. And then for Saturday, the sea breeze should keep us from seeing 90. Jersey might get up to 90, and then as we get into Sunday, you could see mid to upper 80s, possibly near 90 in Jersey. So as far as getting any cool, dry weather comes, well, we're getting a break in the humidity tomorrow, but that's all we're going to really get, and that's all we're going to see. So let's go to the cloud map here, and you'll see here on this GFS here, you can see that this front is just offshore. Hopefully we can eke out a mostly sunny sky, at least across western parts of Long Island. And then as we get into Saturday, you'll see more clouds around. And then Sunday, especially with those chances of showers as that moisture comes in. Of course, this is the GFS. It is a lower resolution model. Let me go to the RGEM next. All right, RGEM. All right. Start off with clouds, and then it looks like we have more sunshine by later in the morning and the afternoon. But there still could be a pop-up cloud or two, and it's trying to generate some pop-up cumulus activity. I'm wondering if that is showers or just just clouds. We're gonna actually, yeah, it could be. I can't rule out a very isolated shower inland tomorrow. I can't rule it out. Other than that, as we head, and this would be more toward the evening, as we head more into Saturday, you'll see more cirrus around. There'll be more cirrus around, and probably the air quality will start declining again. And Sunday, we're going to have a lot more clouds around. Sunday is going to be the day where you could see more of a shower chance. I can look at the NAM 12. I guess maybe it would take me out towards Sunday, and you can take a look and see. So, we're dry tomorrow, more or less, except for that really small isolated showers. Saturday, it's trying to pop up maybe an isolated shower or two. And then it's Sunday that we may have to deal with some more substantial showers and rain chances with this next slow-moving front moving through. So I think that's going to wrap up this weather update. A pretty unexpectedly active day today with the weather. But again, it is a muggy night out there. And if we're looking at the current temperatures again, we're on the Wonder Map here. It says 79. That's about right, because that's what it has in my alley. So it's about 80 degrees. And it's going to be a bit, we're waiting, hopefully tomorrow we'll get a nice day. Tomorrow is the best day we're going to see for the next 3 days. So try to get out there and enjoy it outside, though it's still going to be hot. And I'll tell you, it's just, this weather, especially today, man, I was not feeling well. Either it's the heat or the bad air quality or something, I don't know. But hopefully we lose this air quality alert tomorrow and we don't have to deal with it. So we'll have at least more breathable air tomorrow. But that's going to wrap up this weather update. Have a good night.